Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about self-esteem, self-confidence. The reason that I thought of this video is because I was actually watching a movie. I'm not saying that it's like the best movie ever, so you don't have to go watch it, but it was on TV and so I just had it on in the background, and it was called I Feel Pretty. And it's about this girl. She hits her head and she starts seeing herself differently. Like, she doesn't see herself in her usual body. She sees herself as this beautiful person, and all of a sudden she gains all of this self-confidence. And the thing is, everybody around her still sees her the same. It's only her that sees herself differently. And throughout the movie, she's like going for everything that she wants, and she's thinking so highly of herself just because she feels like she's prettier. And by the end of the movie, she ends up hitting her head again, and she realizes like she was always this person. And it kind of, I don't know, it touched home with me because I think I have put myself down so much in the past and had such low self-esteem about so many things. And the truth is, it probably limited me. And if I had more self-confidence or more self-esteem, I probably would have done things differently, or maybe I would have put myself out there more, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I wanted to talk about, how do you grow your self-confidence? How do you grow self-esteem? The reason I wanted to talk about it is because you could Google things and I don't know that they actually work. So for example, I think when I Googled it, it said like, you know, make a list of your accomplishments. Well, guess what? I could make a list of my accomplishments and still not have that much confidence, right? So for example, I was always insecure about my skin. I would break out really easy. It was super sensitive, and I felt like, you know, everything that people look at when they first see you is your face. And so if your face is broken out and red, then that means that you're ugly, that people see the ugliness in you. And I might have accomplished a lot of things, but those accomplishments didn't mean much if I didn't feel good about myself. So instead of writing lists about self-confidence and what I've accomplished, or setting certain goals for myself, I just wanted to talk about, how do you build confidence from the inside? So for me, something that I really needed to change was, I needed to be honest with myself about how I felt about myself. And that some of that was accomplished through journaling. Like, I would have journal prompts set up for myself. Like, what is it that I don't like about myself? What is it that I am ashamed of? And the thing is, it doesn't have to always be something like not liking your skin, right? And like not liking acne. It could be, I don't always feel like I'm the kindest person. I don't always feel like I'm the most forgiving. And there are things on the inside that I identify as being ugly parts of me. And if we hide them and put them down and shelter them and act like they're not there, we're never going to address them, and we're never going to change them. So they're just going to sit there. And that's what happened for many years. Like, I knew there were parts of me that I didn't like, but I just didn't pay attention to them, and they kept coming up in so many ways. And so one of the ways I started to address the things that I don't like about myself, the things that make me feel bad, was through journaling and sitting down and having honest conversations, although it's on paper, but honest conversations about like, what is this side of me that I don't like? And then once I started to identify that, the next question became, how do I work on that? And the truth is, I wasn't always the kindest person. I was very judgmental. And I had to do some self-reflecting that, you know what, you judge everybody else and you judge yourself. And all it's doing is bringing you down, bringing people down. And if you want to feel differently about yourself, you have to treat other people differently too. And that looked like being more patient, being kinder, learning how to get my point across in a nicer way. Like, you know, I'm an outspoken person, and I just felt like, you know, you should always tell the truth. And if that hurts, so be it. But you know what? You don't have to come across that way. There are other ways to come across, and there are other ways to work on yourself while still getting your point across. There's a way to be compassionate and empathetic and kind and still say the things that need to be said. And that was very hard for me to realize. And so we have to have these honest conversations with ourselves, like, what are we doing and how are we going to make it better? So that when I look at myself in the mirror, I see somebody who is kind and compassionate. And when it comes to the more physical things, like the acne, for example, I worked with this girl who she had a lot of acne on her face, and I still thought she was pretty. And I would look at her and I loved her hair. I felt like she had a great body and she could dance. And I'm like, oh my God, like I just liked her. I liked her personality. She seemed happy. And I didn't really pay attention to the acne on her face. And the reason I bring that up is because, like I said earlier, you know, I would assume like, well, if it's on my face, everybody sees it and it makes me ugly right away because the first thing you look at is my face. But how come when I meet somebody else who doesn't have perfect skin, I'm still like, oh my God, she has really nice hair. She had beautiful curly hair. And I realized I'm just way too harsh on myself. And not everybody sees your insecurities. And I know that's, you know, easier said than done, although that's not the right phrase for that. But like, it's easy to say that, but it is the truth. And I had to stop looking at myself so harshly and just putting myself down. And I had to realize like we all have flaws. And it's okay to have flaws. It's okay to have insecurities, but we have to learn how to build ourselves up. And we have to learn to be kind to ourselves, just like we would want to be kind to the people around us. And so a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem comes from within. Knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you can do better if you want to do better, you can change if you want to change. And like I said, I got that through journaling. Some people get it through therapy, you know, coming to therapy. And if it's hard to just sit down with a journal and put that all out there and you need somebody to help process it with you, get a therapist, get a counselor. I caution just getting friends because sometimes friends, they don't give the best advice. And, you know, depending on their own perspective, it could be hard to get what you need out of it. But if you have somebody who is solid and a good friend and understanding and compassionate and loving and kind and forgiving and all of these things, then yeah, go to your friend. I would say be careful with what you consume on social media. I mean, we hear about this all the time, right? There's so many filters. The people on social media don't even look like the people on social media. Like, they filter their pictures, they filter their videos, they change their body shape. Like, there are so many examples of a picture where they clearly made themselves look skinnier or more curvy or this or that. And so we really have to be careful with what we're comparing ourselves to. And we've got to stop comparing ourselves. I know when I was younger, I wanted so desperately to be shorter. I don't know why. The people around me were shorter. I felt like that's the way that people should look. And I remember in a song, I think it said 5'5", brown eyes, something like that. And I'm like, oh wait, 5'5" is cool. And now all of a sudden, because of somebody else's validation, I thought that being 5'5" was cool. But before that, I wanted to be like 5'2", 5'3", because girls are supposed to be petite and small and just all of these thoughts. So we need to stop comparing. We need to stop getting validation from other people. And I think also we have to look at, where do these beliefs come from? Are the things that we think about ourselves, are they really true, or do we think those things because of how other people have made us feel? Because we prioritize other people's opinions over our own. So if social media says you're supposed to have nice full lips, does that mean that my lips are ugly? No. But if I take the belief that this is what a woman is supposed to look like, this is what lips are supposed to look like, this is what eyebrows are supposed to look like, then those aren't even really my beliefs to hold. I'm just listening to other people, and then I'm telling myself I'm not good enough. And we really need to think about the things inside of us, or not inside of us, like our physical appearance, that where does this come from? You know, if you feel happy about who you are, then we shouldn't easily be taken down by other people and what they say, because they're not living our lives and they don't know what it's like to be us, and we're the only person that lives with us every day. So I say all that to say, like, find your own beliefs, find what's important to you, prioritize what's important to you. And it's okay to change yourself. Like, okay, if you look back, I had like very brown hair and I went through a breakup and I decided I need some change in my life and I need to just start fresh and all of this stuff, right? So I added blonde. I'm not saying don't change anything about you. I'm not saying that you should just be happy 100% of the time and nothing should bother you. All I'm saying is that it's time to reflect on who you are and what you want for yourself and the person that you want to be. And when you do set those goals, believe in those goals and believe in yourself, you will find a way to make things happen, but you have to allow yourself to take some risks, and you have to allow yourself to put yourself out there and accept the person that you are, which is really hard. I get it. But confidence comes from within. There is nothing I'm going to tell you that is going to just automatically take away your insecurities. I could tell you you're the most beautiful person in the world, but if you don't feel it, it doesn't matter. So the only way that you're going to feel it is if you work on you and you reflect and you do that journaling or have honest conversations with yourself or go to therapy or analyze whatever you need to analyze to identify the things that are making you unhappy, making you feel less than, and then address them, because only you have those answers. With that being said, I hope that this was a helpful video. There's so much that I can go into. I'm trying not to make my videos super long, but if you have questions or like specific things you want me to go into, I'd be more than happy to go into it. Self-esteem and self-confidence is such a huge topic that it's hard to just be able to say everything. And I want to be helpful, so this is just the beginning. If you have questions, please let me know. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for your time, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.